Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second media brief by Ziko Lathu Consortium, where we present our updated preliminary assessment of the 13th of August 2026 general elections. The Ziko Lathu Consortium comprises 5 local civil society organizations, namely Action Aid Zambia, Panos Institute Southern Africa, Non-Governmental Gender Organizing Coordinating Council, NGOCC, the Media Institute of Southern Africa, MISA, Zambia and Young Women in Action. As at 16 hours, the Ziko Lathu Consortium has processed, received and analyzed over 100 incidences, reports and over 1,200 checklists submitted, which provide detailed context on pertinent poll-day incidences. The first one, polling station issues and incidences. Number 1, opening delays and polling station changes. In Kasama, Doloka polling station reportedly opened late at 12:15 hours, while a delayed opening at a polling station in Ngombe contributed to a stampede, during which a woman was injured and rushed to the hospital unconscious. Further, an elderly woman was also reportedly injured and taken to hospital. The relocation of polling station to alternative sites, reportedly because the original venues were too small, caused confusion, with similar incidences recorded in 2 areas where some voters were reportedly injured. This was similarly reported in Kafue West constituency, where a polling station has been moved to another location. While we recognize the efforts by the Commission to secure alternative, safer and accessible venues, we are of the view that such changes may have a negative impact on the fairness process of the fairness of the process. Late opening of a polling station effectively disenfranchises voters by limiting their opportunity to exercise their right to vote. Number 2, accessibility to vulnerable groups. We also noted that the lack adequate facilities for the vulnerable groups, such as persons with a disability and the elderly. This is specifically observed at Ngombe PTA polling station and in Roma constituency. Number 3, materials and processing challenges. Selected polling stations experienced shortages of material, including ink, which led to temporal stoppages in the voting process and caused the voter frustration. Several incidences were reported where ballots were stamped on the front instead of the back. This reportedly occurred at least 3 times and raised suspicion among the voters. In selected polling stations, voting booths were unavailable, requiring voters to use tables, which affected voter secrecy. Number 4, voter secrecy and access to voting. There are reports of inadequate voter secrecy, including voters being observed while marking their ballots. In another incident, 5 voter cards were reportedly confiscated from a voter suspected party cadre, and the affected voter was not allowed to vote. Polling staff were reportedly seen giving priority to people they recognized, which led to complaints and obstruction at the polling station. Number 5, campaigning, misinformation and security concerns. Campaigning was reportedly taking place at polling stations by prominent candidates and party representatives. Misinformation about the movement of pre-marked ballot papers reportedly contributed to violence. Media personnel were reportedly harassed
by suspected UPND cadres who interfered with their work, while a female police officer reportedly faced intimidation from the suspected party cadres. Number 6, harassment of the media. We are deeply concerned by reports of harassment of female journalists covering the electoral process. At Malamba polling station, a Zambezi FM journalist was allegedly subjected to 2 separate incidences of mistreatment, including being roughed by the police officers and having footage deleted while carrying out professional duties. Additionally, it is deeply regretted that a Zanese journalist was reportedly assaulted by party cadres in Olympia. We strongly condemn violence against women in elections in the strongest terms. Such incidences are unacceptable, undermine the important role that media institutions play in informing the public, promoting transparency, and strengthening accountability. Journalists serve as a vital link between events on the ground and the citizens they inform, and their safety and independence must be respected at all times. Number 7, harassment of a female police officer. We have sadly observed a number of incidences involving harassment of Zambia police service officers. This is deeply concerning as police officers play a vital role in maintaining law and order, protecting citizens, and ensuring public safety. Respect for law enforcement is essential to fostering a peaceful and orderly society. Number 8, incidences of violence. We have noted with concerns reports of violence in some parts of the country during the electoral process. For instance, in Makululu compound in Kabwe, there were reports of polling staff and voters being subjected to stone-throwing incidences. Such acts of violence are unacceptable as they threaten the safety of citizens, disrupt the voting process, and undermine the peaceful and democratic conduct of elections. We call on all stakeholders to exercise restraint and allow electoral process to proceed without intimidation, violence, or interference. We have also noted with serious concern the presence and the conduct of suspected party cadres at some polling stations. In particular, reports indicate that the party cadres were effectively manning a polling station, a role that falls outside their mandate and undermines the integrity of the electoral process. Such actions have the potential to intimidate voters, create confusion, and erode public confidence in the credibility of the elections. If left unchecked, this behavior risks fostering lawlessness and could become a recipe for anarchy. We therefore call on the relevant authority polling stations remain under control of duly authorized election officials and security personnel in accordance with the law. Number 9, presence of the military. While we appreciate the need to maintain security and prevent any potential unrest during the electoral process, we are concerned by reports of the presence of Zambia Army officers at Celestine Primary polling station in Masaiti Mbala. The primary responsibility of maintaining law and order during elections rests in the Zambia Police Service, and the deployment of military personnel at polling stations may create anxiety among voters and stakeholders. Their presence risks escalating tension and could undermine public confidence in a peaceful and civilian nature of the electoral process. We therefore urge the relevant authority to ensure that election security arrangements are proportionate, transparent, consistent with established legal mandates. Call for action.
Number one, we urge the Electoral Commission of Zambia to promptly address reported operational challenges, including polling station changes, opening delays, material shortages, and concerns relating the voter secrecy to safeguard the credibility and integrity of the electoral process. Number two, we therefore call on all stakeholders, including law enforcement agencies, political actors, members of the public, to uphold and protect media freedom and ensure that journalists are able to carry out their duties freely, safely, and without harassment, intimidation, or interference. Number three, we call on the police to maintain professionalism, ensure the safety of all participants in the electoral process, and take swift action against any act of violence, intimidation, harassment, and public disorder. Number four, we appeal to all political actors to exercise restraint, respect the law, and refrain from actions that may intimidate voters, journalists, election officials, and fellow citizens. Number five, we call for protection of the media personnel and the safety of journalists, election observers, and law enforcement officers, ensuring they can carry out their duties without harassment, intimidation, or interference. Number six, we encourage all Zambians to remain peaceful, reject misinformation and violence, and contribute to a transparent, credible, and democratic electoral process. In conclusion, since this morning and continuing into this afternoon, we remain concerned about the apparent lack of preparedness in certain aspects of the electoral process and the impact this may have on citizens' ability to exercise their constitutional right to vote. Delays, logistical challenges, operational shortcomings have caused understandable frustrations among the voters. Nevertheless, we remain hopeful that affected citizens will remain patient, resolute, and committed to participating in the democratic process despite these setbacks. We urge relevant authorities to act swiftly to address these challenges and ensure that every eligible voter is afforded a fair and meaningful opportunity to cast their vote. I thank you.